It's your boy Tim, aka T.O. Speaks.
This your girl Yami, aka Yam Speed Sant, and you're now tuned into
Love and Theology.
I know I've questioned many things in this world, but I never had to question your love. So I know one thing's for sure. I can put trust in real love, your love.
For every mom who ever missed a meal so they would have enough to let their babies eat. Fathers who grind every day to provide more than good advice. Charlie Sheen.
Yo, what up? I'm so excited we back again, able to, talk, come at y'all, and give y'all some perspective on what we got. I just want to take time out to say, you looking beautiful today, babe.
Thank you.
As you do always.
I don't like the fact that you have this out.
I don't like the fact that you beside me, but, we still work.
So how you see, that's how you know that the compliment was phony.
No, whatever.
For the people. Anyway, one good thing, or whatever.
Hey, what good thing happened for you last week?
You start.
Well, oh, man. A lot of good things. Last week, if y'all ever notice, like, my good things really be nothing. Dude, I'd be like...
I don't think so. I think they'd be important to you.
Yeah, but one good thing that really happened last week, well, I had a couple of good things, a couple of prospects. We just gonna lay it right there, it seemed like things are starting to shift a little bit, Even if these prospects don't work out, just knowing that things starting to shift is a good thing. You see what I'm saying? So just a couple of prospects, I had people reach out to me to inquire about me. So that was a good thing.
Very good.
What about you? So what's 1, 2, or 3 good things that happened for you last week?
Actually, honestly, I think I'm more excited for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that for you, it's been a long time coming. And I'm really happy that, things are just turning just a little bit, in your favor. A lot of it in your favor. So I'm happy for you.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the topic. Listen, we're filming this a lot later than we normally do. We done had church. Tim was out here gallivanting with some women, I guess. I don't know, because it took him a long time to come home.
I was gallivanting with all the women then. How about that?
I mean, make them pay a bill. Huh?
I was out there getting food for the house so I can cook.
Oh, my God. We had food at the house. This is me calling Tim. Like, bro, where are you? Mind you, at this point, he left the church before I did. I took the bait. No. Now, don't be out here trying to make it seem like you was out there doing stuff for me.
I was.
Tim, first of all, Tim is the type of dude that thinks that just because there is a sale, it means that that's even more reason to, I'm saving money. So I guess Crocs had like a deal of a buy one, get one half off deal or something like that. So he was like, this is a good deal, ain't it? I was like, well, a better deal would be not to purchase it.
You know why? Because you mentioned you might getting you some Crocs yesterday after I bought my daughter some. So.
No, I said
I was going out to get you.
I said that I like the ones that she had because they had fur in them. But that doesn't mean, and for me, that doesn't mean that go out and get it, especially for me.
I was going out to get what your heart desired because
that wasn't a heart desire. Or he wanted, and then obviously he was going to get.
You put the ask out there, and I was going to support. I was going to fulfill your ask.
My God, this man looks for any reason to spend money.
Whatever.
Money. Either way. He leaves the church before I do. I drop the baby off at vocal and music lessons. And I come home.
Take a picture of your wine and paper and posted it.
Oh, wow. While I was waiting for my baby girl to finish her lessons, I had a paper that I needed to complete. So yeah, I got a house read. And I wrote my paper, and then I went home.
Okay.
And then he's still not here. I'm calling here every time I turn. Well, I got a surprise for you when you get home. You know what the surprise is, guys? You know what the surprise is? First of all, Tim, anytime I can always tell when I'm making any sort of progress physically. Y'all know, if y'all follow me on my social medias, I've been on crop top summer, crop top winter, crop tops all year long. Tim is a hater. So anytime I make a little bit of progress, my stomach going down, what he gonna do? He gonna buy snacks.
First of all, last night you was bugging me about not having
I didn't bug you. I just mentioned, hey, I would love to.
Is there any chocolate in the house?
That's it.
I know several times.
Uh-huh.
I know
one
that
time.
you like. No, it was more than one time. You said, do you have any chocolate? No. Do you have any secret chocolate? No. and you sure you don't have no chocolate, then you went to sleep. So,
because you do be having secret chocolate. That's ridiculous.
So
who hides stuff?
I don't hide no chocolate. No, I don't. But so I bought you cinnamon buns, something else that you like. But secondly, you don't have to eat anything. I'm not saying eat this. I'm not sticking the cake in your face like Ike did Tina Turner, eat the cake anime. I'm not doing that. Right? She's eating it because she wants it.
It's also I don't like to waste money. And yes, I want it. Like obviously, but the reason why you're buying it is because let me go ahead and foil her plans of crop top winners or crop tops all year long. So just admit to the people that you hate that I'm making some progress.
I don't care.
You are no, you know what? That's all right.
I don't care.
He don't want to be truthful. But all I do know is that every time I make a little bit of progress, all of a sudden, all the snacks in the house increase.
I think you're beautiful. I think you should go out. You're supposed to get all the compliments.
And who cares about compliments? I'm talking about for me. That's what's wrong with men.
First of all, I don't believe that. I don't
believe what? Because I hadn't even got to it.
Whatever you're finna say, I don't believe, because it got to do with men. You trying to put a mindset on a man, something that you're not. So therefore, it's probably going to be most accurate.
Okay, most men.
No, you can't even say most men. You're not a man.
Men assume. Okay, all men. I don't care. Most men assume that the reason why a woman does anything cosmetically has anything to do with them. No, it be about us. Okay. That's why I don't need no compliments. Okay. All I want to do is be free and have my stomach out. Okay. Risk getting pneumonia just so I can show y'all my progress, huh?
Okay. Anyway, I don't believe it.
You don't got to believe it. I know me. And I only had one thick summer. One. Everything else was just either super duper skinny or blue, blue, blue. Who wants that life?
When is that summer?
When was that summer? Mm-hmm. The summer after I had tablet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I was thick. It was nice. And then it became...
Blue, blue, blue. It's been blue, blue, blue.
Ever since. Until now. Anyway, what are we talking about today?
No, I remember I was having a conversation with somebody, and they was like, man, I want to have a conversation about, when is it that God put us in a place?
Hold on, stand by one. Because I posted a video about how Tim is an enemy of progress.
Let me tell y'all what Tabitha said today, first of all. I don't know where it came from. This is just a sidebar. Tabitha was like, man, I'm kicking stress out my life.
Well, first of all, Tab, if you don't know by now, Tabitha is...
Like, just out of nowhere, she said, I'm kicking stress out my life. I said, what are you talking about, Tabitha? She said, if school stress me, you gotta go. Mm-hmm. She said, if people stress me, they gotta go. Mm-hmm. Even if you and mommy stress me, you gotta go. Until y'all calm down, then I'll let y'all come back. That's what she said. She said, I don't have time for stress in my life. It's all no, and then she went back playing Roblox.
He must have been stressing her.
No, it wasn't. She just came out of nowhere. She just dropped wheels from time to time.
Tabitha is a brilliant vessel that hears from God.
Said, and then even you wasn't even saying to say, even if your mom is stressing you out, you gotta go, and then when y'all calm down,
y'all could come back and tell her. I mean,
that's a good way to live, man, for real.
I like that she's like that. Yeah. It's hard raising her.
And then she went back to playing Roblox. Like they just something that dropped on her. She said, took her headphones out.
It's interesting that she had to say that to you, though. But continue.
Because me and her have those type of conversations.
We have those. I
don't know what kind of conversation you have, because apparently she don't drop this stuff to you, but she always do. Because we have these intellectual conversations. So. I don't know what y'all be talking about.
Okay. So what are we talking about today?
No, we're just talking about just having a discussion. I think discussion about when is it that when you put yourself in a situation, or is it when God? How do you discern between the two?
Where do you think that, where did that come from for you?
I was just thinking about somebody was talking to me. I was at this job that I'm at, right? Mm. They said, "Oh, God put you there for a reason." And it was at that moment I said, "No, God didn't put me here. I put myself here, and that's why I'm dealing with the stress of it." Mm. You see what I'm saying? Like, God did not put me here. So I told this person, I said, "Look, we got to stop saying that everywhere we are, God got us there for a reason." God might be like, "Nah, I never told you to go there." There are
certain circumstances. I do agree with you that we put ourselves in. We label them God, and God be like, "Man, this ain't got nothing to do with me."
And then you know what? So check this out. If you believe God putting you everywhere, you're going to be mad when it don't work out. Now you're going to be blaming God. You see what I'm saying? So it's not one in between. So that's how you got to understand. Like sometimes things don't be God, and neither do it be the devil.
Just be you.
It just be you. The devil be someone like, man, they give me credit for this idiot stuff they doing. What if the devil would have said it? Like, I had nothing to do with this, man.
It was interesting if you even about it, because like, what would you say to someone who's like, I believe that that Jesus indeed orders my steps, and how saints like to quote scripture just to go like justify whatever they're saying.
Well, I believe first of all, scripture. I believe it's nothing more than to get some type of understanding of God. First of all, to get some type of understanding. I don't believe that the Bible is an instruction book.
Okay.
Because what an instruction book does is this to give you step by step. This is how you're supposed to live your life. This is what it is. A, B, C, and D. Mm-hmm. The Bible doesn't do that. If it did, God would become a contradiction. Okay. Because God gives free will. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not an instruction book. I know people probably going to disagree with it, but it's not. It's just not an instruction book, in my opinion. And also, what it is a bunch of beautiful poetry, different genres put together. You got apocalyptic, right, genre. You got poetry. You got lamentations of weeping. You got all these different genres put together so you can get wisdom from it. You understand what I'm saying? It's to draw wisdom so you can apply it to your life and live out your everyday life in a wise manner. That's what the Bible's about, in my opinion, so.
What did it have to do with what I said?
But yes.
I don't even remember. This way, you done got me into a tangent.
Just got good.
You got me in a whole tangent. I forgot now. Either way, I do agree. Sometimes we do put ourselves in certain circumstances identifying them as God.
You said about Jesus.
What did I say?
You said, how would you be if you were like Jesus order your steps? And I went through.
I said the Bible. That's probably where you went into your tangent.
And I think the Bible doesn't order your steps. I believe you can pull from the Bible to make correct decisions is basically what I'm saying.
Maybe I said the Bible.
No, you said Jesus. Yeah. Like God or Jesus.
God orders my steps. Okay, yeah. But I guess too, like, one of the things because the next question would be, how do you determine, what is God or what is you? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I believe it's like, take back Noah when God told Noah to get up and walk to a place that I will show you, right?
Who?
No, Adam. I'm sorry, I said no. I think about the sermon today.
Sermon today, yeah.
When God told him to get up and walk to the place that I will show you, right? God didn't show him anything, right? But it was the obedience, right? No matter where he went, he was obedient. It was going to work out. It was going to work out regardless. He would have went to the east. It was going to work out because it was the obedience. Abraham, yeah.
I was like, what, Adam?
Abraham.
Like, what?
It's been a long day.
Listen, I'm sorry, guys. we try to be really consistent, because that's what our pastor talked about today, being consistent. We try to be really consistent with what's going on. Like,
but you know why I say Adam? Because I'm doing an exegete on Genesis right now.
We just gonna be all over the place, so y'all gonna enjoy it. That's all right though.
So Abraham, right? Yeah. So no matter where,
it's like, wait, God told Abraham.
I'm just sitting on you.
I couldn't even focus. So God told Abraham.
When you in a place where you were like, am I right or is he wrong?
I literally said that. I was like, well, I don't know what. This don't feel right.
I'm just gonna stop him now.
Love and theology. It's gonna be some wrong theology. Anyway, go ahead.
But Abraham, God said, get up and walk and go to the place where I'm going to show you, right? Yeah. So no matter which way he would have went, people, it would have been it wouldn't have been wrong because it was the obedience part. You know what I mean? So with the God ordering our steps, right? Once we allow God to be in our life to the point where you want him to, no matter where you go, it won't be wrong. That's how you got to discern between the two. You know what I'm saying?
I think you also have to be able to discern what the voice of God says sounds like. I mean, just because we're shooting, usually we would have shot this before Sunday, but I guess it was important that we got the word that we got today because
it was really good.
No, it was really good. But also one of the things that Pastor Tim was saying about listening. The voice
of God.
Go ahead, finish off, because now you done distracted me. Now I forget what I was
I'm saying, what you talking about? Like, how do you know it's God's voice and stuff?
Yeah, I know, but I lost my words. So tell me what you said.
No, she just that's all it was. How do you know what the voice of God sounds like? I think she said, first getting into Scripture.
Yeah,
if it
you gotta know his God's character.
Character, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. So in that, if someone were to ask, for instance, how are we able to discern if these steps that I was taking are God steps or God ordained steps or my ordained steps? You would have to balance it against what you have known or understand God to be as far as consistency.
Right. Exactly.
That's what. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question, because when it came to what that person was saying about, how you put yourself in this kind of situation, what made you realize that? And like, while you were in the thick of making this decision to get this specific job, did you say to yourself, oh, I know this is God, or did you not think about that? Or like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I was thinking about my next move, right? From where I was. Like, this is where I go. I began to try to chest stuff together, right? You know what I'm saying?
You're desperate.
Not even desperate. I was trying to create my own path to my own end. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With a little bit of desperation thrown in it, but not so much. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, I began to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. If I do this,
then
it's going to lead to this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I began, and it all started with the job at Mercer, right?
Although I think the Mercer, I think Mercer wasn't ordained.
No, I believe that was an ordained position. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, this where it all started with me mapping out my end. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. As opposed to opposed to dwelling.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to leave Mercer. Sometimes I felt like that.
Did you really?
I mean, because I got to think like, man, I'm trying to. First of all, you can't fit a circle into a square. Mm-hmm. Only thing you can do to it is begin to hit it, and that begins to bring pain. I begin to feel pain and frustration on the other job. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm somewhere that I'm not supposed to be. I'm surrounded by people that's not like me. And that's another thing. Like, it's okay to tell people that we ain't the same. You know what I mean? These people that I work with, we're not the same. You know what I mean? On any level, as far as experience, as far as intellect and all that, we're just not the same. So I'm trying to surround myself with people that's not like-minded and becomes frustrated, right? And then I was talking to this person that was like, and it just hit me at the time. I was like, man, I got to get up out of here. Like, well, I think you was here. God put you for me. I said, God put me here. It's like I heard clear as day, like God say, don't blame me on that one. No. Yeah. You put yourself here. And that's why you're dealing with the pains right now.
That's interesting.
But once I realized that when God began to shift, I came to a realization probably 2 weeks ago, and you see what happened that quick?
No, you had to come to yourself.
Because one thing
you had to come back home. Oh.
One thing I didn't want to do.
Hold on now. Wait. No, if you're going to do that, you got to say, can I pause here parenthetically? Oh, no, I don't have to say that at all. But you had to, and oftentimes, especially, the realization that I think I'm getting from this conversation is that there's always room for you to come back home.
Always. Right.
And once you recognize that thing that you're out, maybe out, for lack of a better term, out of God's will. Once you realize that recognition of being out of God's will, after that comes repentance. Once you turn around, things could change. Your perspective is literally when you turn around, you could be, if you're from Florida, you know what I'm talking about. There's times in Florida where you could be standing on one side of the road and it'd be nothing but sunshine, and on the exact opposite road, I mean, literally, it'd be dark gloom, clouds, rain, or something like that. Literally, you could be walking in that direction, but your repentance would require you to turn around or do an about face. And once you turn around, your perspective is different.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
That is really good.
That's exactly how you broke it down. Was exactly how I felt. And what's crazy about it is one thing I wasn't going to do in this season was blame God for a decision that I made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For a decision I made. Now, just because you make a bad decision, it just goes back to what you said. It ain't like God can't work it out for your good.
Yeah.
But you got to recognize it first.
Yeah, man. You have to acknowledge it. And we have to be more conscious of acknowledging the fact when we get it wrong.
Right.
Which is not a character trait that I feel like most people carry these days. Most people double down or not most people. It feels like our generation of people are very good about doubling down, even if you have proof.
It's just like even like I've been studying in Genesis book, right? I begin to read, and then they begin to show the fall of man, right?
Mm.
Even when Adam, it says this in the Bible. If you can begin to read the Greek, God begins to illustrate this, right? It shows, the Hebrew, he begins to illustrate this. It shows that even after all this, man still blame each other, the serpent, and then they even blame God. Like, this is what you put me at. You understand what I'm saying? But they never want to take the time to blame themselves. To own
so maybe it's not our generation. Maybe it's it's the fault. It's the consequences. The consequences of the fall.
They blamed everybody else, and God sitting there being all knowing, knew that they was gonna do this. Like, they finna blame me.
That's what my name this episode. Don't blame me.
Like, they finna blame me, man. Here we go.
That is wild. No, honestly, really and truly, if because when I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking about how quickly things change. And one of my prayers for you had been, Lord, give him the new perspective. The perspective is what's taking him out.
And you know what's crazy about it, y'all? If you can begin to show your faults and the activities of life when things not going right, it didn't bring hurt. It brought refreshing to me. I was refreshed. I was like, wow, I did this. And I was able to, I remember laughing after I said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was at that moment, I knew everything was going to be all right. Once I made it be like, nah, God didn't do this. I did this.
Yeah.
I have no business being, I put myself in this situation.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
This is why I'm so frustrated.
Right. God has nothing to do with this.
I'm trying to think of situations where I felt like I had I can probably name a whole bunch that I wouldn't have a conversation with you guys about this right now.
I think we all do. We all do.
Yeah, but I guess I was trying to think of one that I could share, so I can be like, "Oh, it's not just him." But today, it's just about this is an episode just about Tim, so that you can get to know. You can be here first to see what happens when he catapults.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that happened too, people. Our Love and Theology family. When I began to even change my perspective about my situation, no longer get angry, God was able to start working, man.
Mm-hmm.
Too, right? You know what I mean? When I was like, man, you know what? I'm not even mad. You remember we was going through this thing where we thought somebody wasn't doing something, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh man, these people tripping. They turn on me.
I didn't say.
No, you did. I'm just telling you where I was at.
Yeah.
Like, man, these people turn on me. But you remember when I started saying, it's all good. It's all good.
And eventually you believed it too.
Yeah. I really didn't care no more. Like, it's all good. This is what I'm going to do. You know, this is what happened. Like, maybe I'm trying to rush back to something that God don't want me to go to. I began to accept it. You know what I mean? Knowing that believing that God had something else. But God wanted me to change my language. When I changed my language, guess what happened? Stuff started happening for me. You see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, I had been saying this for months.
Well, you know, I don't think God like humans taking credit either for his stuff. So.
We just sat here in the service where we heard that God would use people to convey a message, and sometimes when He can't use people to convey, if you can't understand or get it don't sink as deep into your head, then God then has to not God has to allow pain, but then we begin to experience pain as a consequence of not being obedient to the signs that maybe God used through people to give us perspective with.
Yes, correct. That's good.
So
you ain't been around here prophesying lately. I don't know where it would come, but it's been on target too. Those are the type of prophets I like. Let me stop. But you know,
I don't fool with what kind of prophets.
No, I'm just saying I believe that even a prophet that called himself a prophet could be on the mark. You understand what I'm saying? And hit the target. But that don't mean there's a prophet. Everybody at some time can say something that's gonna line up and happen. You know what I mean? But
that's how I treat it. I don't be thinking that it's a prophet.
You know, but I've been telling you, like, I think you got to discern. I believe, like, there's certain gifts that I believe are multi-gifts. In order to be a prophet, you have to have a sense of discernment and wisdom. In order to be an intercessor, you have to have discernment so you know what to pray about. You see what I'm saying? It's a twofold gift. But I believe, like, you've been on point, man. I don't believe prophecy always come in the form of telling somebody gonna receive stuff. I believe that's hardly what prophecy.
No, like the prophet, the prophecy of the Old Testament. It's very direct and harsh in a lot of ways.
Well, it was always anytime there was a ruler, there was always a prophet. To try to bring correction to the ruler. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't to say that, oh, David, man, you're gonna get this. Well, except for when he poured the oil, but he would go and be like, man, you are being wrong, Amos. He went up there like, y'all were treating the people wrong, man. This is what's going on. This is what God is going to do.
Yeah.
God would send the prophet to the people to tell the people he about to destroy y'all if y'all don't get right. Because God didn't want to destroy them. But he was like, I'm going to send y'all a prophet. I need you to relay this message. And if they don't get right, I'm going to destroy. Not to go down there and say, hey, man, 3 of y'all going to receive a house on the hill, man. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm just saying, man, like, and then people get mad when the prophecy don't come about and get mad at God, man.
I remember there was a meme that said, I can't wait to find my pastor to choke him or something because he promised that I was going to get the thing. It was a short meme. Walking up to the pastor, telling my son, you promised me, X, Y, Z. And it was wrong. Okay. This is falling flat. So what is your theology?
My theology is this. Like, if you stop blaming God for putting yourself in positions that you didn't have no business being put in, that he probably even told you not to do, right? Stop blaming God about that. And if you do find yourself in those positions, accept it and then allow God to work it out on your behalf. That's my theology.
Very good.
What's your theology for this?
Probably should listen to your wife. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Love of Theology podcast. I feel like we were all over the place, but it was still good. I think you guys got some laughs, huh?
I have a question.
Okay.
That we can ask the people, right? Do everybody understand what theology is, really?
I guess maybe that'll be
a question. If you don't, just say, I really don't understand what theology is, so we can understand that. Because people are like, living theology, really, what is it?
Maybe we'll make an episode about that.
Right. So we appreciate y'all for tuning in on this Sunday evening.
I mean, they're not probably watching it on Sunday.
I'm sorry. On this Wednesday evening.
They're probably not even watching it on. Thank you for tuning into the Love of Theology podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and tell the whole wide world where you can find us. And if you are on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate this a 5 and give us a note so that we can become more discoverable. Right. Anika, if you're listening to this podcast, pause it, go to 26 minutes and 46 seconds so you can see that I have my hair still intact because I'm getting ready to take it down.
Hey, let's shout out Anika. Since you brought it up, she be dropping some jewels, some wisdom on her. What is it? I can't think of the Instagram.
Wisdom to you from me.
Y'all need to follow that, man. Like, she be doing some real.
And when you cut me off, what she was saying about in reference to the fact that you bought me the Cinnabon was that you saw me on stage this morning and you realized that you wanted to make me fat. That was the wisdom that she gave.
That's not true, Anika. Come on now.
All right, if you guys have some ideas, topics, anything that you guys want us to kind of powwow about, let us know. Something else
we're going to start back up? We're going to start back up our prayer. You remember we used to do our prayer once a week? We're going to start that back up where we're going to go live and pray for people, So.
Okay.
Let's do it. Hey, peace. We out.
He just wanted to get the last word in.
I know I've questioned many things in this world, but I never had to question your love. So I know one thing's for sure. I can put trust in a real love, your love.
For every mom who ever missed a meal so they would have enough to let their babies eat. Fathers who grind every day to provide more than good advice. Charlie Sheen, take it, everything you gotta take to bring the bacon home and put it on the table. You are not forgotten, legacies are made in our darkest hours. God is watching, keep your faith. Don't bend, don't fold, there's a lyric I quote. Tell me trouble don't last always. There's a Christ I know who revives the soul of the one who lose their way. Pursue the one who promised us a peace of mind. I tried to fly high on my choice of vice, but then I found Christ was the road to life.
Many things in this world, but I never had to question your love. So I know one thing's for sure. I can put trust in a real